London police are blaming a serious crash on slick roads. The crash sent 5 people to the hospital and shut down I-75 for hours.
There is extensive damage at marinas throughout Lake Cumberland after ice followed by more than a foot of snow piled up on the rooftops, causing several docks to collapse.
Beautiful day in the Bluegrass. Snow still on the ground, but it will start to melt in the next few days. That means much better temperatures. I'll have that coming to you in just a few minutes.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. Interstate 75 is back open this midday after a crash involving several vehicles.
A tractor-trailer jackknifed in Laurel County, leading to a chain reaction crash. As WKYT's Mark Barber reports, police think slick road conditions played a role. It's our top story at noon.
The interstate reopened about 2.5 hours ago. Police say that this serious crash happened when a tractor trailer hit a patch of snow and jackknifed. They say this is a sad example of how dangerous roads here still are and of why it is so important to drive slowly. The tractor trailer jackknifed in the northbound lanes of I-75 near exit 41 around 7 this morning. The jackknife semi caused an SUV that was carrying 5 people to slide in front of another vehicle. That vehicle then crashed into the SUV, which flipped, throwing one person out of the vehicle. Medical helicopters flew 3 of the injured people to UK Hospital. 2 others were loaded into an ambulance and rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital in London. As crews worked to clear the wreck, they put suitcases that were thrown from the SUV back into the vehicle. We're told it had an Ohio license plate. Police hope this serious crash will serve as a serious warning for other drivers.
If you have to get out, be careful. You know, go slow, watch yourself, and don't be in no hurry.
Police say even though 4 vehicles were involved in the crash, the 5 people who were hurt were all in the same vehicle, that SUV with Ohio tags. In Laurel County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Now, at this time, we still don't know how seriously they're hurt and if they're related. Police have learned no children have been injured. Even the people out treating the roads had problems getting around. The District 8 Kentucky Transportation Cabinet shared some pictures on Facebook. One of their trucks in Wayne County flipped on its side. One also got stuck on the side of the road in Adair County just yesterday. The family of the driver says people came out and helped the driver. And in Russell County, one truck operator had to repair his own plow truck after the conditions damaged it.
Well, the weight of the heavy snow has caused a whole lot of troubles in southern Kentucky today, especially at marinas on Lake Cumberland. The snow caused some roofs to collapse and even some boats to sink. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at Lee's Ford Marina, where several boat owners are assessing the damage.
There is extensive damage at marinas throughout Lake Cumberland, including here at Lee's Ford Marina in Pulaski County. Managers say several hours of ice followed by more than a foot of snow piling up on the rooftops caused damage to about 247 slips, making for the worst snow event in the marina's more than 60-year history. One dock is entirely collapsed, while 2 more are partially collapsed, while a few others are sinking. Workers say it is too dangerous to get out to the structures, so they've been using large hoses to try and knock some of the heavy snow off. For now, they are not letting anyone out on the impacted docks and are asking customers to wait until the weather warms up and the docks are safe. Managers encourage boat owners who already know that they have some damage to go ahead and contact their insurance agent. In Pulaski County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And right now, workers at the marina do not think that there is any damage to boats in the uncovered docks. Kentucky may have yet another storm-related death. A Madisonville woman died after she was found lying in the snow in the front yard of her home. WFIE in Evansville says the neighbor found the woman yesterday evening. Firefighters performed CPR, but they were not able to revive the woman. Police say foul play is suspected in the situation. The road conditions have improved some over in Powell County today, but the snow caused a totally different problem as well.
There's a big hole in Church Street in Stanford. Part of the road collapsed over the weekend as the winter storm moved through. WKYT's Victor Puente is in Powell County with more on the efforts to get that road fixed. Victor?
This massive hole opened up over the weekend, and the city had to replace a sewer line before they could fill it back in. The mayor says the hole opened Saturday night when the ground beneath part of Church Street gave way. Workers tell me the collapse happened when a man was driving a backhoe onto a neighboring farm. They say the rear of the backhoe started to go in, but he used the rear arm to push himself out and was able to drive away. They had to excavate all of the dirt inside. Then they had to replace a sewer line that was destroyed. Now they're filling the hole with gravel. A worker out here tells me that they'll put permanent pavement down once it warms up.
We've had our share of water, you know, six wettest December on record, according to y'all's news report. So, you know, it's been causes problems sometimes, but they show up and we fix them and go on. That's part of the job.
The mayor tells me this sinkhole is the only large problem they've had. He said the city and the county did a good job of notifying people the storm was coming and to stay off the roads, and he said that preparedness really paid off. In Powell County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now, officials expect Church Street to be reopened within a few hours.
Well, we're getting a much needed break in our weather department today. It's pretty nice out there with sunshine, you know?
That sunshine looks fabulous. And the temperatures this week will improve and help a little bit with melting some of that snow that's out there. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with an early look at the forecast.
Well, let me tell you, we have sunshine outside, and we also have temperatures already in the 40s. For most locations. I mean, this is really the best thing we could have asked for to kick off the work week. We're looking out and about, seeing that mixture of sun and clouds. You're going to hold on to that all day long. It's a beautiful day. We're at 42 now in Lexington, 44 in Frankfort, 43, trio of those. If you work your way from Richmond, go up towards 64, Mount Sterling, all the way to Moorhead. And a couple of spots. Early this morning, we were there in the teens for a few locations, and that was in Somerset, London, and then make your way into Rockcastle. We're still much lower than everybody else, but still above freezing. So by the afternoon, we'll reach the mid-40s. Much milder. We need that because there will be a lot of melting going on throughout this week. We'll talk about those numbers, how much higher we get in the forecast, coming up in a few minutes.
Micah, thank you. A road is back open after a water main break shut down traffic for several hours. Water crews in Paris spent hours overnight and this morning to repair a broken water line. It is not clear what caused the water main to break in the first place. It was discovered about 8 o'clock last evening. Police had to shut down High Street in downtown Paris while repairs were made. And just minutes ago, dispatchers told us everything has been fixed and the road is back open.
Now, the death toll from this weekend's blizzard in the Northeast is now at least 32.
Many died while shoveling mountains of snow that are piled up from the Carolinas all the way up to New York. Craig Boswell has the latest from Washington, D.C., which is still shut down.
People spent the morning digging out cars buried in snow in Washington, D.C. About 2 feet of snow is on the ground in the nation's capital, more than enough to close federal offices and schools today. Residents around here are not used to shoveling this much snow.
A lot of people are not really fit for a job.
Because it's dangerous.
Yes, it's a dangerous job.
Many streets in the city remain unplowed and impassable. Some drivers are deciding just to stop near the street, get out of the car, and walk where they need to go.
We are still in a snow emergency in Washington, D.C., and I'm operating under a state of emergency in the district as well.
And D.C. is not alone. At least 5 states reported getting at least 30 inches of snow. New York City has lifted its travel ban and schools are open, but many people in the outer boroughs like Queens are finding it slow going on foot and on the roads. 89-year-old Joe Mastralla has a message for city officials.
Come down my block once in a while.
At the airports, flights resumed this morning at Reagan National in D.C., and there is limited service in New York, Baltimore, and Philadelphia.
People should be expecting larger than usual crowds.
More than 12,000 flights were canceled over the weekend, and airline officials say it's going to take some time to get everyone back on track. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
And New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio is encouraging people to leave their cars parked all week long. Well, a manhunt is underway this midday for 3 men who escaped from a California jail.
More on the serious charges the men are facing and what officials are saying about how they escaped.
Also, breakfast gives a big boost to the Golden Arches. We'll explain ahead on WKYT News at noon.
From days before,
We are tracking a major winter storm that is going to try to shut down the Bluegrass State.
to when the snow starts falling.
The snow has been piling up quickly.
And all of our resources, of course, at work today covering the situation.
Heavy amounts of snow on the tune of a quick inch or two every hour.
This is some of the hardest snow we've seen so far today.
When Kentucky weather is at its worst, WKYT works hard to keep you safe. WKYT stands for Kentucky.
Up to now, affording a beautiful smile has been, well, sketchy. So picture this. Doctors Durbin, Walks, and Garner are offering an unheard of offer. No down payment and only $175 for 24 months on orthodontic treatment. It's their way of saying thank you. Clear Choice Orthodontics is an elite provider of Invisalign, offers digital imaging, clear porcelains, and accepts most insurance. Affordable orthodontic treatment. Now that's something to smile about. Learn more at clearchoicesmile.com.
Guess what is just around the corner? Those big heating bills, unless you do like thousands of folks. Call us here at America's Window. We can install high-performance, energy-efficient windows in your home and take advantage of our Window Wonderland sale. Call now for winter savings, 100% financing, low monthly payments. Act now and we'll pay your February heating bill with your window purchase. Pick up the phone and call today. Check us out on the web at americaswindowusa.com. Call for a free estimate.
What's the affordable difference? It's their very affordable fees.
They care about me.
Dentures in just one day.
Their experienced denture team.
Call 1-800-DENTURE or go to affordabledentures.com for valuable coupons. Same-day dentures, extractions, and implants. Affordable fees, compassionate care, and satisfied patients.
What's the affordable difference? A great smile.
You may be surprised to learn that you do not owe us a fee unless we win at trial or are able to obtain a fair settlement for you. So if you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or the victim of medical malpractice, you don't owe us a fee unless we win your case. And your initial office visit with us is absolutely free. My family has represented you and your families for almost 30 years now. Today, we are honored to help you when you need us most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
More news now. The search continues for 3 dangerous prisoners in Southern California.
They made a daring escape Friday in Santa Ana using cutting tools and bed sheets to get out of the maximum security jail. The 3 men were in custody, facing charges for serious crimes. One of them is charged with murder. This is the first escape from that jail in more than 2 decades.
Escapes do occur from time to time. People in jail have a lot of time to sit around and think about ways to defeat our systems.
Investigators don't know at this point whether the men had any help in their escape.
Southern Kentucky is dealing with the ripple effect of synthetic drugs. Synthetic drugs are not organic and are known to cause hallucinations. Williamsburg's police chief says the effects of synthetic drugs like bath salts are not only dangerous for the user, but for everyone around them. Last summer, the city had 13 people overdose on bath salts in 2 weeks. The jailer says many times symptoms don't show up until after the user is arrested.
Oh, terrifying. They mumble ungodly things. I mean, it's just, it's almost like an animal-like effect. They have no control of their body movements. It's probably the worst thing that I've seen.
Now tonight at 6, find out what state officials are trying to do to combat synthetic drugs. Jessamine County has become the 4th community in Kentucky to adopt a needle exchange program. The Jessamine Fiscal Court voted 4-2 last week for the program, which will allow addicts to exchange used needles anonymously for clean, sterile ones at the local health department. Jessamine County Health Department Public Health Director Randy Gooch says the program is set to start during the beginning of April. Lexington, Louisville, and Falmouth already have needle exchange programs.
U.S. Senator Rand Paul could be facing a well-known opponent in his upcoming bid for re-election. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray says he is considering a run on the Democratic ticket against Senator Paul. Gray says he has been encouraged by many people to enter the race. Tomorrow is the filing deadline. Gray says everyone will know by then. Paul, of course, is also running for the presidency as well.
Well, McDonald's customers and investors appear to be loving it.
Right, the fast food restaurant has seen a jump in same-store sales by more than 5%. McDonald's is crediting its all-day breakfast for the better-than-expected revenue and earnings report. The chain has seen same-store sales growth not only in the U.S., but worldwide.
Coming up, Lexington hip-hop artist Divine Karama is driving this U-Haul truck nearly 400 miles to Flint, Michigan to drop off some fresh water.
Temperatures soaring outside. We're in the 40s already for most locations, and it looks like we'll have even higher temperatures in the forecast. We'll talk about that and if we have another snowstorm on the way. I'll have that up next.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 100.1 WKQQ.
In Kentucky, elder abuse is on the rise. Most nursing home residents say nothing in fear of retaliation. Watch for signs, bruises, scratches, bed sores, and cues in body language. If you suspect nursing home abuse, you need to seek justice. Call Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600, 800-800-4600, before it's too late.
Enjoy 0% financing for 5 years and free TVs with your qualifying purchase during the New Year event at Sleep Outfitters. Get this Sealy Pillow Top Queen Set with gel foam on sale now for just $4.99 plus a free TV. Or this Tempur-Pedic adjustable queen set now as low as $34 per month plus a free TV. 0% financing for 5 years, free TVs, store-wide savings, and free same-day delivery. The New Year event at Sleep Outfitters.
Hi! You need a better car!
It's my credit.
Don't worry, because when you need to make a move, Drive Time approves!
Were you guys always this cool?
Hey. Oh, hi. Yeah, totally.
Save yourself. Get approved at Drive Time first. Call, click, or visit.
Guess what is just around the corner? Those big heating bills, unless you do like thousands of folks, call us here at America's Window. We can install high-performance, energy-efficient windows in your home and take advantage of our Window Wonderland sale. Call now for winter savings, 100% financing, low monthly payments. Act now and we'll pay your February heating bill with your window purchase. Pick up the phone and call today. Check us out on the web at americaswindowusa.com. Call for a free estimate.
You're never far away from a new Toyota. Find the latest offers on your tablet. Check inventory on your phone. Toyota is everywhere you are at buyatoyota.com. Now, during Toyota's Anytime Anywhere event, get the bold 2016 Camry with 0 for 60 financing, plus $500 bonus cash. Get $1,250 customer cash or a $179 a month lease. So visit here and then come in here for your new Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line. Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Such a good-looking shot out back. It's one of those things that you just look at and you know what we went through wasn't all that fun with all the snow for 24-plus hours. Just constant snow. But now that it's on the ground, now that everything's taken care of, I say everything, most roadways taken care of, it looks great. I mean, it really does. It's one of those picture-perfect scenes as you step out the door. I will tell you this, even though you have the snowpack, check out these numbers. 42 degrees in Lexington, 43 in Richmond. This is what happens when you get the flow out of the south, and it's really pumping on in here. Some much milder air. Somerset and London, you guys finished off in the teens. The rest of us, for the most part, finished off 20s and 30s. That's why you're still trying to catch up with everybody else, and even some freezing fog early this morning. 30s now, you'll finish off right around 40 to about 42 degrees in that location. Everybody else in the mid-40s. Frankfort coming in at 44. Mountain Parkway looking good at 42. We get into the rest of the afternoon, mid-40s, go off into the evening. Still mainly dry. I would expect the rain anywhere from 9 p.m. to about midnight to start in the far west and northwestern zones and then slide through overnight and into tomorrow morning. So for the most part, tomorrow morning, we're going to be waking up to some pretty sloppy conditions. That means kids going off to the bus stop will be walking in some rain. It's not going to be that fun. We get into the afternoon and we're still holding on to a few showers down in the far southern zones. Then it starts to fade away. So not only are those temperatures above that 32-degree reading, well above, but also some rain is in on the way. So there's two things that are helping us out big time. Try to melt some of that snow. It's much needed. No doubt about that. We picked up tremendous amounts of snow, anywhere from 6 inches in the northern zones, about 5-6 inches of snow, to about 20 to 22 down in the southeastern zones. There's a lot of snow. No snowstorm ahead. I can tell you that. I got that question so many times the past few days being out in public. Check out these pictures. I've shown pictures all morning long. Such neat shots that you guys have had with all the snow. This is in Bryant'sville, northern Garrett County. This from Dan Eads. Such a cool shot. Couple of bucks, and it looks like a little doe standing there, just kind of hanging out. Then look at this one. This is Johnny Nicholson. This is down in London, southern Kentucky. Such a beautiful shot. Once again, you guys have really pumped in some good pictures with the snow laying around. Here's your 7-day forecast. Rain comes in later on tonight. That means the rest of the day will be dry. Off into tomorrow, a few showers left over, pretty sloppy conditions, and then we head toward Wednesday and Friday. I think those are your better days. Maybe to see a few flurries flying around. No accumulation expected. And the good news here is you look towards your weekend, much better than last weekend. 50 Saturday, 51 on Sunday. Really, really nice.
Improvement. All right.
Big time improvements. You got to love those numbers.
Maybe those 7-foot piles of snow will be gone by then.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Cross our fingers on that one.
And as that happened, your popularity just soared. It's great.
Man, nobody hates me anymore.
As if it could go any higher. All right. Keep it here on WKYT. When we come back, John Calipari talks about his team's improved play.
And for Matthew Mitchell and the UK women, it's all about the effort. Dave Baker has sports next.
And as we head to break, let's check stocks. The situation midday, all the major market indicators are down.
Aliens, whether they are wearing a red cape or not, are a threat to this country and our lives.
What was that thing?
A white Martian.
I'll bring it in.
My team and I are currently tracking your attacker.
Some aliens can look like anyone. You were warned. I'm on my way.
New Supergirl, CBS tonight, or stream it live or on demand.
Mamma Mia, Broadway's smash hit musical featuring 22 of ABBA's greatest hits. Mamma Mia, you already know you're gonna love it.
February 4th through 7th at the Lexington Opera House.
Hi, I'm Lori McCreary, and I started my business 3 years ago. As a business owner, there's always this balance of great customer service as well as being able to provide a really good product. Not everybody has both. I knew that I could trust in Traditional Bank to help us figure it out, make the right decision, and then just come up with the funding that can help us really just grow and innovate. Traditional Bank is truly passionate about what they do for their customers and what they do for us, and that's seen every day when I walk in the door.
The word of the day is winterize, and simply put, it means to prepare for cold winter weather. If you're tired of dealing with those cold and comfortable drafts in your home in the wintertime, it's not too late to get those old drafty windows out and install new windows from America's Window. Look at these high-performance, energy-efficient windows, custom-made, whatever size you need, bay, bow, double-hung, slider. You'll love the ease of operation, lots of colors to choose from. If we don't have the color, we'll make it for you. Take advantage of our Window Wonderland sale. Call us here in Lexington now. Call now for winter savings, 100% financing, low monthly payments. Act now, and we'll pay your February heating bill with your window purchase. You can come by and see us at 1190 East New Circle Road right here in town. Over 30 windows on display to choose from. Call 1-800-861-4153. Give your home an energy upgrade. Take advantage of our Window Wonderland sale. Get those old windows out and install new windows in your home.
After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements. Don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Look into the sky with all its beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout, take a look and sing, oh, 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 oh.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
Last week, the Cats could have easily lost 2 games. Instead, John Calipari got arguably 2 of his team's biggest wins of the year in just a span of 48 hours. During their ups and downs, Cal has been consistent in saying this team was just trying to figure things out. Well, against Arkansas, a team known for its pressure in Vandy, one of the biggest teams in the SEC, Kentucky only committed a combined 13 turnovers. He's also been consistent in telling his team they had to make winning plays.
I think they played with more of a sense of purpose. They zeroed in on doing their own, what their job was for our team. I think they took on responsibility, each player, instead of trying to say, let one guy do everything. They took it on. And on top of it, for 2 games, I think we really guarded full possessions for the first time.
As for the UK women, it's always a big game when the Tennessee Lady Vols come to town like they will tonight. And the home team is not only coming off a disappointing loss to Ole Miss, but a game in which senior guard Janae Thompson rolled her ankle. Oh, does that look painful. She's officially listed as questionable for tonight. Regardless, Kentucky's effort has to be better than it was against the Rebels.
You know, we have to get our entire team really, Janae and everybody, focused in on the details of how to do things the right way. And we have struggled with that, and certainly struggled with that Thursday night. So all of us, no matter who plays in the game, we have to go out and really focus on being a lot more detail-oriented and sharper.
Super Bowl 50, a week from Sunday night, an SEC quarterback matchup between Carolina's Cam Newton and the Broncos' Peyton Manning. Could be his last game, a lot some are saying. Carolina has been installed as the early 5.5-point favorite. Much more on that, much more on the Cats as we roll on throughout the day, guys. But for now, that's a look at sports on this Monday.
Right, Dave. Thank you very much.
And there's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
Hope you'll stay here. We'll show you how people at Lexington are answering the call to help in the midst of that water crisis up in Flint, Michigan.
The weight of the snow causing significant damage in Wayne County.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $48 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot $75 million.